Hi guys, it's Synolve. How you guys doing? Today we're talking about the travel ban. The travel ban has now gone into effect. It actually into effect on June the 8th. And so let's discuss what countries are on the list and the impact and what this means for you if you are planning on traveling to the US. Welcome to my channel. Go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button, and join the family. Become a part of the family here on my channel. Join. If you want to talk about investing in Africa, going home to the motherland, please join and become a channel member. You can also join me over on Patreon. We're going to be talking about those things, how to invest in Africa. In fact, I've got a trip coming up. And so if you want to be on go on a freedom repatriation tour, what a tongue twister, then go ahead and send me an email at synolvemedia@gmail.com. I'll leave it in the description below. Join me here as a channel member and become a member of our email list. Join the email list so you can get all the behind the scenes details about this. We're going to explore different countries on the continent of Africa, starting with Kenya, and I want you to go. And so come on and join me. Now let's get to this travel ban. Okay. Washington, President Trump's proclamation barring travelers and immigrants from 12 countries. If you see me reading, I'm reading from my trusted iPad. Okay. So 12 countries, and restricting the entry of nationals from seven other nations, which went into effect early on Monday, June the 9th. And so there are 12 countries and then an additional 7 other nations. Now, if you're watching the news, you're already seeing what's happening in Los Angeles. The Trump administration has called out the National Guard on its own citizens, on its own homeland. We have not had this type of thing to happen in years. It does not feel like America at this point in time. Now, I don't know who wants to travel to the U.S. because we've been trying to tell y'all as African Americans. I got a little something sticking up. But anyway, I don't know who wants to travel to the U.S. at this point. Now, we've been telling y'all, but nobody was listening when African Americans were trying to tell y'all how it was in America. But now I hope you're listening. If you're looking at what's happening in Los Angeles, like I said, they have called out the National Guard. Citizens are under attack. And immigrants are being, they were saying that this was to restore order and to help the local police. But the local police are saying they're not even being really involved. At first they were, but now they're not even being involved. And what's really happening is that the National Guard is being used to round up immigrants. Ooh, so much going on today. Also, Trump has put out a message saying that they're going to, cut back on some of the immigrant because some of this stuff on the immigration crackdown, and they're going to stop sending immigrants out of this country. We shall see, because farmers and people in different industries are complaining. Then, in a stunning move, Trump called for the ramping up of ICE raids. This statement came just hours after the politically motivated assassination of Melissa Hortman, a state representative in Minnesota, and her husband, Mark. And that's a whole nother video, y'all. But let's get to these 4 countries. Let's get to these 12 countries, okay? So with the move, the White House cited concerns about national security. We talked about that. The president said the recent attack at a march supporting Israeli hostages in Boulder, Colorado, has now underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors or overstay their visas. We don't want them, says Trump. Y'all, hurry up and get me out of here. Okay, hurry up and get me out of here, y'all. Okay. Now, so an internal memo from the Customs and Border Protection issued on June 7th said the suspensions and limitations on entry of foreign nationals are from the above listed countries go into effect on 12/01 June 9, 2025 for travelers that do not have a valid visa issued on or prior to June the 8th. And so here's what we know about the travel ban. With some exceptions, the proclamation bans the entry of foreigners from 12 countries who are seeking to come to the U.S. permanently as legal immigrants, as well as those with temporary visas, including tourists from the following countries: Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad. Y'all, we're going to talk about Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen. The proclamation also partially suspends the entry of travelers and immigrants from another 7 countries. The restriction applies to legal immigrants seeking to move to the U.S. and certain temporary visa holders who hail from the following countries: Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. Y'all, you got a full ban and a partial ban. I'll probably put this picture up for y'all so you can see it. I don't know, Sierra Leone just made no sense to me. Togo, these are very friendly countries, so it just makes no sense to me whatsoever. Chad, first of all, Chad's president, kudos to you, sir, went ahead and banned all Americans into his country, into the country. Now, Chad is rich in gold. You see, it's like these countries who don't want or are not allowing their ports to be used for their military, for these military expeditions of the U.S. Who knows what they're doing on the continent. And then Chad, for example, rich in gold and wealth with gold mines, amazing country, beautiful country. Yes, beautiful, amazing country. Congo. I did not understand the Congo because I thought the U.S., they were signing this relationship with the Congo. And what's going on here? So they're signing this contract like the mob, right? Trump talked about the mob. These countries are asking for protection, but then they don't get anything for it, like the mob. Of course, they're getting things from it because they're getting natural resources for cheap. They're getting the oil, the gold, whatever, rare earth minerals. And then Trump says, they're really not really that rare. Haiti, y'all, the conflict in Haiti, if no one else needed these protections, Haiti needed these protections, okay? I don't understand. He causes, the U.S. has caused a lot of this unrest around the world: Libya, Iran, Sudan, Yemen, and different places, honey. And so now, of course, Cuba's like, we don't care. Cuba's like, that thought that we cared, we don't, because we're not letting you in anyway. Okay, so they don't have an extradition policy with which they don't like. They don't send Cuban, they don't send their medical people, nurses, whatever, to be trained in the U.S. The U.S. didn't like that. In fact, they tried to force Barbados and all Caribbean countries to stop using Cuban nurses and doctors and medical people. So the president of Barbados said no, ma'am. No, sir. No, we're not doing that. And Venezuela won't let them have their gold. Their oil. So they had a great relationship. Venezuela had a great relationship with the U.S. Then what happens? Trump comes in office and there you go. Why were these countries selected? So the article goes on to talk about this. It says, on the first day of the second administration of Trump, which is 47. Okay, he was 45 during the first one, then Biden, and then was 46, and then Trump was 47. So on the first day of the second administration of President Donald Trump, Mr. Trump, he directed officials in the U.S. and his administration to perform a security review of high-risk regions and make recommendations for where immigration and travel restrictions should be imposed. And so the president and the factors considered were large-scale presence of terrorists, failure to cooperate with visa security, inability to verify travelers' identity, inadequate record keeping of criminal histories, and persistently high rates of illegal visa overstays, and other things. It's the other things. Okay? It's the other things. The U.S. is not so clean in any of this, because they have people who overstay too in other countries. Let me just say this. The president cited the recent attack in Boulder, where an Egyptian national was charged as part of the justification for the bans. Egypt is not among the countries on the White House list. He says he says that this is why, because of Egypt and this attack, but then Egypt is not on the list. But the proclamation directed officials to assess the adequacy of Egypt's vetting policies in light of recent events. Y'all, the lies never cease. Are there exceptions to the travel ban? The president's decree contains certain exemptions, including for the U.S. Permanent residents and the spouse or children of U.S. citizens who have clear and convincing, you got to convince these folks, evidence of identity and family relationship. The proclamation also outlines exemptions for Afghans who assisted American forces and have special visas, diplomats, athletes coming to the U.S. for the World Cup. I wouldn't come. I would boycott. I wouldn't come. Okay? I would boycott America. I would not come. I wouldn't come. I would stand in solidarity. I wouldn't come. The Olympics and other major sporting events, dual nationals with a passport from a country not listed in the president's decree, and for adoptions. Mr. Trump said the list could be revised if countries make material improvements, and new countries could be added as threats emerge around the world. Trump has done this before. He did this during his first administration. He told you all he was going to do at least 3,000 something like that a day, 5,000 a day. Here under Kristi Noem, he said that he was going to do that Homeland Security, but y'all voted for him still. You did not believe them, okay? In January 2017, for example, Trump signed a travel ban restricting the entry of most citizens from Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Yemen. The ban sparked widespread outcry, creating chaos at airports and prompting legal changes. And opponents argued the ban was discriminatory, and it is. And that's where we're going to end. It is discriminatory. This is very discriminatory because these are a lot of black and brown countries. Haiti is in the middle of a civil unrest and civil war. They need protections. You have Sierra Leone. Y'all, this is just ridiculous. But this is the travel ban as it stands. I have continuously said on these travel bans, if they will keep people out, they will try to keep you in. Okay? So we need to be watching, especially the African countries that are on these bans, the brown countries that are on this ban. We need to be watching, and we need to be, as African Americans especially, need to be clear. And to you all, my brothers and sisters on the continent, please be safe and please stay home. You are amazing. You have a beautiful, amazing continent of Africa, right? It is a continent. Africa is a continent. It's beautiful and amazing. And so if I could offer my prayer, my hope, whatever challenges that are going on the continent, my prayer is that they're resolved on the continent by Africans. We need African solutions to African problems. You hear me? You feel me? Please. So please, We need to work on resolving our problems, and we need to see who the real enemy is. Who's really causing the unrest? And then you cause the unrest. The Italian prime minister talked about this. So the West causes these issues and problems, and then this is what happens when you have so many people running to Italy or France or to the UK or to the US because their homelands are being disrupted. They're unable to get food. They can't get their money. And then you have all of these restrictions like they did against Russia. You have all these bans and restrictions against countries. And so that causes these countries to implode. And so, y'all, and then the U.S. comes right on in the U.K. and Western nations and take all of the natural resources. And so we just need to do as a people, and we will, because Africa is already rising. It's already happening, of protecting our own country, of using our own military, of uniting together just like the AES has done in Burkina Faso. So it's going to happen. And the more Trump does, the greater Africa rises and the more Africa unites. Okay? Yeah. Sometimes the things you do for evil, God meant it for your good. Okay? They do evil to us. And look at what's happening on the continent. So many amazing, beautiful things. Y'all comment below what y'all think of the travel ban, because I can't wait to hear. Okay? I can't wait to hear what y'all think in these comments. Out in these comment YouTube streets. All right? I love you guys. Be sure to connect with me. Follow me at Synolve. I have all of my links and information below. Okay? Join the Patreon. Become a member of this channel, because we have so many amazing things to do. I love you guys so much, and I'm going to see y'all in another video real soon. Bye-bye, guys.